Hello YouTube. We have the Kubota L3240. We have a 50-hour service due. I'm gonna kind of show you. Well, if we can read it. That's the wrong way. Okay, let's try this way. See if there says service inspect sign up on the hour number. So that's where you kind of reminds you of changing the oil. And I also change the fuel filter every time I change oil, every 50 hours, just to be safe. These are fuel injected diesel engines, and you know, fuel filter, I don't think you have to replace it for 100 hours. I might be wrong, but I do it every 50 hours along with the oil change, so I don't forget. Cheap insurance. How do you reset this light? So let's start with resetting the sign, and then we're gonna talk about how we do oil change and filter change on Kubota. So first thing you do is put the key in the ignition and turn it to the on, but don't crank it, right? And then you hold this display and travel speed button together for a few seconds, and you see that service inspect sign? It's gone now. I'll show you right from this side because it's a reflection. Okay, so we resetted the time, and now I'm gonna show you how we go about replacing this stuff. So this is a little side panel. You pop the hood, makes it easy to remove the side panel, and there's a little nut, quick nut here, and there might be a bolt on the other side, and there's a little kind of latch here that kind of hooks into the frame of the tractor. So this is, so you remove the side panel, and there's your oil filter, and that's your fuel filter, right? You can kind of inspect it and see if there is water in there. I see a little cloudy fuel, and when we open the cup, we'll find out more. But you turn this fuel off first of all before you remove it, and I typically mark the date when I change it and the hour, just so I know when I change the filter. This is I did it at 8:65. We're about 9:08, so we're a little earlier this time around, but I'm just gonna go with the sign this time onward and not have to remember it. So okay, so what you do is first you're gonna drain the oil. Now there are two case oil pan on the Kubota, because there's a frame going in the middle. So you open both of these drain bolts and drain the oil first, and then you remove the oil filter with this kind of a oil wrench, filter wrench, and then this thing just this ring will just come loose, and the whole plastic casing, see the fuel coming down, will come out, right? So this is the easy part. All right, so you just kind of take this out and look at the filter, and you can kind of see if there is water under there. I don't see a lot of water. There's a little bit of debris, but that's all there is. So we just clean this cup up, and then put new filter in, and there we're done. Okay, the filter kind of has a little a nub here, so it kind of goes like this, right? And then you put the cup on top. Okay, so we're gonna drain the oil, and when we come back, we're gonna replace that oil filter. Kind of show you the part number. So this is the oil filter. The part number is HH16432430, and this is the part number for the fuel filter. I try to buy a Kubota filter. They're a little bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. You're gonna need a 19mm box wrench or socket wrench to open this drain bolt. And with any oil change and drain bolts, you know, drain bolts are, these pans are the kind of stamped steel. This one has a boss, but most of them, they don't have very good threads on them. So whenever you put this bolt back on, don't over tighten it. It doesn't have a presser or anything, so just you know, tighten it snug, and that's all you have to do. So we're draining one side now, and we're gonna drain the other side. While we're here, I'm gonna also show you how I undo the oil filter. So there you go. You kind of get a grip like that and turn it. That's all. And then you can hand loosen it and put the new one back on. After you put a little oil on the seal here, on the rubber seal, just put a little dab of oil and put new one in and hand tighten it. So oil filters always needs to be hand tightened. Never ever use a wrench, because then you won't be able to take it off. To show you where the oil plug is. So the oil fill hole is right here on the side of the engine, right next to the oil filter and the fuel filter. And before you drain it, don't forget to take this off, otherwise it will create a vacuum inside and the oil won't drain very fast. So take the oil plug off and then drain. We'll be back again. We're kind of all done. We put the bolts back on, and that's the old oil filter. The new one is on. The new fuel filter is on. We turned on the fuel as well. And the last thing, we're gonna fill it up. So I use the Shell T1 SA30 oil. I mean, diesels are pretty forgiving, especially the farm diesels. So it's okay if you use different brand, but stick to the right spec. SA30 is what it is in this Kubota. And the oil fill, like we said, is right here, and you just put some funnel here and start filling it. All right, so we'll be back.